Have you ever felt a connection so strong with someone that you spend hours of the day texting them, making plans, meeting up multiple days a week? Kisses from them feel like love letters. And every date is like a scene from a movie. And then one day you're walking hand in hand and you run into a friend of theirs. And the friend turns to look at you and smiles at them and asks, "Oh, who's that?" And the love of your life turns to look at you and says, that's just a friend of mine. Welcome to modern dating, ladies and gentlemen. And this scenario that I just painted for you is a prime example of situationships. Situationships are these beautiful, non-labeled connections between two people that thrive on the ambiguity of, what are we? Here, two people share chemistry, intimacy, and connection without completely submitting their emotional vulnerability and ultimate commitment. Now, if that sounds awful and exhausting, you're wrong. You're wrong. You'd actually love the drama and the thrill of it, as they say. But I do wonder what changed. What changed from us buying each other flowers, professing our love outside someone's window with a boombox, to holding your partner's hand and scrolling on a dating app on the side? Well, we are in a digital age now where I can find my third cousin's secret relationship and the new Beyoncé conspiracy theory within a matter of seconds. So, in terms of dating prospects, my options are unlimited, and so are yours. Since the digital world is hyperlinked, and we have the virtual love-finding societies, the dating apps, which allow us to filter our prospects according to the necessary requirements and standards. Things like, gym goers and dog lovers. And 1 in 10 UK citizens are dating app users. So likely a swipe away awaits our love. Yet around 50% of us are still single and unhappy. So unhappy that we're willing to relocate if that improves our chance of finding love. Improve our chance of finding love. Better than 1 million people just a swipe away on our phones. Peculiar, isn't it? Let's look at the dating setup at the moment. The UK Economic and Social Research Council reported cohabiting patterns in couples from 1980 to 2018. And they found that the cohabiting concept evolved during this time. Where in 1980s it was a step towards marriage, in 2018 it became a test for relationships, which a lot of our couples unfortunately were failing, since the separation rate also increased. Where in 1980s it was 25%, in 2018 it rose up to 40%. So what happened? Did we just get worse at finding love? Are all our million prospects online just a misfit? Well, I believe the change is bigger than us and our individual differences. It was a societal shift. The presence of social media. In 1993, the World Wide Web was launched onto the public domain. In 2004, we had access to Facebook, and from 2007, we've been on our iPhone marathon. So we've been adapting to these technological advancements consistently for the past 2 decades. We've adapted so well that the national screen time average for UK is 7 hours a day. And 95% of that time on our screens that we spend is on social media. So we're spending quite some time socializing online. That's bound to affect the way we interact with other people, the connections we make, and just our identity in general. So it's important to first address the positive ways social media is impacting our connections and relationships. First of all, it creates awareness. Being on social media, we can bring awareness and support around social injustice and bring attention to communities that are suffering. Provide them donations, and show our solidarity in hardships. On a personal level, we can share our unique perspective, talent, and just our general knowledge that may not be appreciated in our local community, but someone across the world would surely appreciate that, since we're a hyper-globalized community now. So when we post things, when we're commenting, and when we're connecting with people online, we've built a social media community now. And with this social media community comes our social media identity, which is impacting the things we like, the things we don't like, our norms, what we find acceptable. This new identity also comes with a baggage that may be slowing down our journey to finding the connections and the love we want. I hypothesize it does that in two ways. The first way is by creating unrealistic standards. The ideal standard model proposed by Fletcher and Simpson discusses that your ideal standards or your expectations of a partner need to match your prospective partners. If there's a huge imbalance between these two perceptions, you're bound to feel dissatisfied in the relationship you're having. Now, as a member of the social media community, our likes and our dislikes, do's and don'ts, are shaped by what we see online. And content online, we all realize, is optimized versions of others' perspectives. Their love lives, the best part of their love lives. And trends such as hashtag red flag alert, hashtag if he wanted to, he would. These create our perception of what we need in a relationship. So of course, a real person finds it difficult to match that perception. And therefore, more and more people are feeling unsatisfied when they're in the situation of committing. And instead, they find comfort in this ambiguous situationship that doesn't force them to commit to this person who's far from their ideal standard. Secondly, social media has the power to induce loneliness. If you're using social media specifically to maintain your relationship and friendships, you're switching off from your offline relationships. Now, let me paint you a picture. You had a rough day. Your boss yelled at you, your food was too salty, and it rained all day. And then you come back and you want to rant to your friend. But instead, you grab your phone and you scroll through your phone and you find a reel that actually summarizes all those emotions in 2 seconds. And you send it over to your friend. And that friend likes that reel and validates that emotion immediately. And that's the conversation you have. These relationships are creating weaker support system for you. And when this happens and a new person comes into your life, you stay away from them. And you create a distance so that in case that relationship fails, you don't have to hurt alone. And you can avoid that pain. These two concepts work together to help us save the embarrassment of a failure of a relationship that will be exposed to the whole social media community, but also avoid us from feeling too hurt and lonely later on. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, situationships work for me. I like these dopamine boosters, what's wrong with them? I conducted a survey with 50 people from our university and asked them to describe situationship in one word or emotion. Every single respondent used the word confusion. And the next two commonly used words were anxiety and uncertainty. These are three negative emotions that if you continue to experience over a prolonged period of time, they're bound to affect your well-being in a negative way. Moreover, being in situationships is normalizing the disrespect of your partner through ghosting and breadcrumbing. Ghosting is the act of dismissing someone's presence by halting all communication. Breadcrumbing is the hot and cold behavior you give someone to gain the validation while knowing that you're not going to commit to them. When we're giving someone these disrespects, we're taking away the opportunity for them to experience healthy long-term relationships, which are important determinants for young adults' well-being. Being in a healthy relationship allows you to go on a self-exploration journey, build your identity, and have self-improvement as well. Thus, it's quite necessary for us to not be spending time on situationships and experience the real relationships. So, do I have a solution for you guys? No. As much as this is an issue, and as cheesy as it may sound, this is going to have to be a one-to-one fix. You're going to have to take your time and self-reflect. Am I creating my ideals based off of social media, looking at that one couple? Have I checked in on my friends? Have I spent enough time with them? That's for you to decide. But the bottom line remains to be, in order to find the love that we seek, we ultimately have to stop hiding from our feelings and embrace them regardless of the consequences. Thank you.